Motion sensing games is a type of video games that players use body movement to play the game. My research is focusing on three significant culture and how does this pop culture represented by different rhythm games and dancing games. The first one is arcade culture. Back in the 90s, people don't play games on their own devices. They usually go to the arcade to play games. Dance Dance Revolution is one of the popular arcade games. It is a dancing game from a Japanese company, Konami, and the game has represented the ambitions of Japanese companies to get in the Western markets during the 90s. The competition back then was huge. The top three genres of arcade games is fighting, action, and sports, while rhythm games was not considered as part of the mainstream culture. But later on during the early 2000s, Dance Dance Revolution has gained a huge success and become one of the most popular rhythm games. A study from 2002 claimed that what people love about Dance Dance Revolution is they can freestyle to the songs and practice choreographies with their friends. Hip hop was a big trend among young generations, and people love to gather at the arcade and they love to dance hip hop. There was even a group in the US called DDR communities to play Dance Dance Revolution in the arcade every Friday night. That's why the game has become so successful in the industry. The second one is the Japanese culture. We all know that Japan makes great animes and they are pretty popular in the West. During the 2000s, the world started to play games on PCs and mobile phones. The arcade culture was not as popular as back then. The gaming industry in Japan was also rapidly expanding, and they even insert both traditional and pop music to their games. Kaiku no Dajijin is the best example to present J culture to the world. On the other hand, we have Vocaloid, such as Hatsune Miku and her other friends. There are tons of series and rhythm games that based on the Vocaloid concept. They become a big hit in different countries and successfully promotes the Japanese culture as well. That brings us to the K-pop culture. K-pop is known as their strong rhythm with intense movements. It's very suitable for creating dancing games. For most of the people, dancing makes them happy, and we don't even need to go to arcade anymore. We have our own devices. We can play dancing games with our friends as long as we have the controllers. For example, Just Dance from Nintendo Switch. The game is challenging and fun. Although the game is quite controversial with how females are presented in the game, which will be further elaborated in my blog. Overall, Just Dance is a good game for K-pop dance learner and anyone who loves dancing to connect with other people.